Yeah. Greetings, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland. Here I am in York. I'm at the Eye of York. The Eye of York is almost this precise point. It's where the two rivers meet. The River Foss and the River Ouse. So that's their confluence, and they flow out together to the sea. Yeah, the Foss, if we turn around, this is the Foss. And look behind me, they've got this little footbridge, and they've even got a lift up high. They think of everything, the city fathers. And then that's the River Ouse, which is bigger. I think it's really, they sometimes said the Great Ouse to distinguish it from another river which is rather further south. So it's a lovely little city, only 200,000 people in York, but it's got almost everything you could want. And they've got cycle paths and footpaths, and it's very flat. So it's really walking distance, everything you might wish to visit. Obviously surrounded by a city wall, which is almost completely intact. The largest extant city wall in the British Isles. And there are various bars on it, so-called bar meaning a gateway, like Monk's Bar, Micklegate Bar. I think bar was actually short for barrier, or it's also because of the French word barrière, which was a city wall, like Paris had La Barrière until after the French Revolution. And then there were some more modern gateways made in it. There's very little traffic within the walled city, which is fantastic. A few buses, which makes it very pedestrian friendly, quite a few pedestrian streets. So one of the most visited cities in the British Isles. Obviously London is top, Edinburgh is third, and I think York must run it. Sorry, Edinburgh second. York must run it a close third. There are huge numbers of Chinese tourists. Now, I've come to York several times through my life. First time I was a babe in arms, but I was here as a teenager a couple of times. I didn't see any Oriental tourists whatsoever. So how it's changed. Their hotels, 5-star hotels, they're not huge 5% of 5-star hotels. Everything right down to youth hostels. So loads of B&Bs. So a place to see and visit. Coming to York Minster, which is a gigantic cathedral, over 159 meters long. Many art galleries and museums. Clifford's Tower, which is a fantastic example of a Motte and Bailey castle, where the earth mound was built up as an artificial mound, an old prison museum. And they've got museums about Jorvik, when it was a Viking city, and the Vikings called it Jorvik. So ancient Roman remains is Eboracum in the Roman times. They founded it in the 1st century, founded in the 1st century AD. And there's some remnants of the Jewish community. In 1190, the Jewish community, they were surrounded, they were trapped in Clifford's Tower. People demanded they convert to Christianity. A few of them came out willing to be baptized, were baptized and promptly murdered. The others decided they would not submit, they would rather die than betray their faith. They wouldn't apostate themselves, so they committed suicide in the most tragic day in York's history. So it was a crucial city for centuries. It was the principal city of Northern England, the religious capital of Northern England. Indeed, in the Church of England, or in the old days, the Catholic Church, there were 2 archbishops in England, York and Canterbury, Canterbury being the more important. That was that. So you can see so many historic churches beside York Minster, the chapter house, where the monks used to hear a chapter of the Bible read aloud to them every day. Some royal weddings took place here. The last one was 1960, when the Queen's cousin got married to a woman from Yorkshire. So it offers so very much. You can take some boat trips on these rivers. York University is one of the United Kingdom's best regarded universities. It's got obviously a large railway station to get the train direct to most major cities in the UK, not Belfast. You can get via second train, you can get to just about anywhere. It's also got York Railway Museum, and you can see many historic trains, steam trains, and Queen Victoria's trains. You walk on to see the royal coaches, where she would sit, where they could have baths and so on. So that's that, and then the countryside is never far away. Look at this for verdure, and people are rowing and canoeing down the river. So that, as in the undergraduates of York University rowing as well. There's also York St John University, which is not quite as illustrious as York University. So yeah, highly recommended. Give York a visit, only 2 hours by train from London. The only thing is it doesn't have its own airport. There's Leeds Bradford Airport, which is not that far away, which would be a half-an-hour drive if you're lucky. That's all. So this is the Eye of York. It was meant to be the spiritual centre of Yorkshire, and the Yorkshire people thought they had a very distinctive character. God's own county, as they called it. They were often inordinately proud of their county.